So are you a Venusian Starseed? Hi everyone, Intuitive Kathleen Miller here, and I am sharing in my Starseed series about different star family groups, and if it resonates for you to see what can be opening, because there's many millions of starseeds that are awakening on the planet right now. And so part of my intention in sharing these is, one, to share how I work with all kinds of different star beings, angels, guides, and high integrity light beings, and help others to get connected, to open their gifts, and to be able to be really assisting for not only the ascension of the planet, but all of these incredible upgrades that we are receiving, even though it seems like kind of the worst of times, the best of times, which it is. It's intense, death flows happening right alongside life, and new forms coming into play. So it's an extraordinary time to be alive. It's an extraordinary time to be, flowing with all of this change and keeping balance, which is another name of the game. But for today, and in this video specifically, I really want to look at the Venusians. And so earlier today, I'm always working with several different guides, several different star beings, and they tend to come in and out depending on what I'm focusing on, where energy needs to be flowing, what grids I'm working on here or elsewhere on the planet. And so today, my main Venusian guide came forward, and I got actually really emotional with her. And what I love so much is the Venusians, if they are very they're extraordinarily sensitive. So they're very body, mind connected. Similar to Pleiadians. Pleiadians have that as well. But the way it's a little bit different with Venusians is there's a really strong kind of sensuality with that. Not that that's not another starseed, and it absolutely is, but it is very pronounced with, and that's where our Venus, goddess of love, goddess of romance, and those energies is not coincidental. That is also part of that, the Cupid from the stars, heart-centered romance. And so they are very much about adorning self-love, self-care, self-sensuality, really being connected to the truth of your core sexuality, your core sensuality, which of course is right aligned with your highest creative aspects of what you're here to create in the world, and really honoring that. So they were working with me around just my own kind of personal life and sort of evolution as well, but also, what I find really interesting is they're constantly encouraging more vulnerability, which is not my favorite thing to go into, to be totally honest. And yet I know the power of that. There's so much power in vulnerability. And so this is something that, for those who are in love, and people say they love to be in love, or they are, very into a relationship in the romantic sense. They might be even counselors, or they help to facilitate around that. They facilitate around opening sexuality. You can be facilitating around beautification too, not from a vanity point, but from a real true loving development, because I think that can get a little strange out there with being kind of the right look instead of what's the true representation of yourself. And so if those are possibly fields that you work in, fields that you have a huge interest in, those are really very interesting. So for me, it's so interesting I know today's also Chinese New Year, and the feng shui starting kind of the fresh year of the snake today. And so one of the things that when I was chatting with them, because I just love to play with feng shui, and I'm always moving energies and playing with different energies, but they even gave me, here's your color for this year, and we want you to wear this color and focus on this color, meditate with this color, and really integrate this into your life more this year. And so this is something that I really, with all the different star beings and all the ways I work with so many different guides, it's just completely different than something that a lot of other of the star families would give me, or that we would really go there. So they're more creative expression and the development of that. And they encourage you know, cleaning up the areas around sensuality, sexuality, and relationship that are not truthful, that are not clean and clear, that are not of higher consciousness too. And that's something that's always evolving for all of us. We're going into new levels of awareness, new levels of receiving ourselves, expressing ourselves, being true to that. So that's to me, it's a big year for relationships this year for sure. And then so being able to trust that, and if it's something that you feel inspired or this really resonates for you, or you know, oh, I know I got some work to do in this area, I'm always available for a private session to be able to look at your soul chart, look at different this or other star seeds that may be really useful to connect with, to be able to work with, as well as sort of the personal pragmatic supports for helping your life to be thriving as much as possible. So I hope this has been helpful, and you know, I'd love to hear your feedback. If you subscribe, like, definitely comment, and I'm always making more content, so I'm, you know, excited to hear more of what you would like to hear more of. And otherwise, please check out my podcast, Intuitive Lifestyle Success. I've got more coming out soon. I should be dropping another one this week. And otherwise, thank you so much for being here, and be well, guys. IntuitiveLifestyleSuccess.com.